Hey guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this magnificent Monday here in Connecticut. Life's good, campers. Life is good. Anyway, to say life is good, considering this weather we're having, you have to be a glass half full kind of guy. Because it is miserable, that backlash from all those high winds and tornado-like stuff going on down south. Oh, please, the gusts are ridiculous. Power outages, miserable. But we got double C's here, baby. So anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Let's finish this out. Jerry, Callet Me. I think most of you who have been following this video pretty much know everything I'm going to say, but we have a lot of new subscribers. All right, let me honk a little bit. First notes of the day, and we'll take it from there. Locked in, baby. Anyway, Jerry would be proud. Hellacious double C's and a whole lot of barbed wire. Anyway, yeah, I was in New York, 18 years old, wide-eyed, just fell off the Turnit truck from Portland, Maine, man. All I knew is Doc Severinsen album and a couple of orchestral excerpts. Hiding Trumpet Concerto and all this sort of stuff. Well, a bunch of guys were going to see Maynard Ferguson up at the Palace Theater, so I went along with him. I knew of Maynard Ferguson. I've never heard anything he played. Well, wow. Lynn Nicholson, Stan Mark. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I come back to my apartment late at night in Manhattan. The whole neighborhood could hear me. I'm trying to play high notes. Obviously, I couldn't. I had to be able to do that. I got it in my pea brain somehow. I think it was I Can't Get Started when he was playing a ballad. I heard. I said, my God, it's the same sound. And I was talking to my colleagues, and they all thought I was crazy. No, it's not. It absolutely is the same sound. The sound they're getting on a one mouthpiece with a C trumpet in that register. There's no reason in the world you can't have double C's and play in an orchestra. That was my quest. Okay, I go into Vacchiano. He wasn't going to tell me. Mel Broyles, he would have loved to have told me. He couldn't. Thus, the quest that we've all been on. Anybody that watches this video, this channel, has been on the quest. All right? Caruso, don't make me laugh. That didn't work. Claude Gordon, I had some success, but I knew it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right. I had met Jerry, and I knew it was right. I take that back. I didn't know it was right. It wasn't right then. It was a work in progress, but he was on the right track. I knew he was on the right track. I knew for a fact that what they were doing was completely physical, had nothing to do with music. And me being a jock, the whole 9 yards, it just could be done. I knew it, and he was the only one. Claude Gordon a little bit. But you look at any of those Caruso books or Roy Stevens or anything, nobody said, well, the bottom lip has to thicken and you have to keep your corner. Nobody said that. He was the only one that talked about the physiology. Okay, so there we go. We're off. And I was his guinea pig. He loved the fact that Vacchiano was my uncle. He loved the fact. So very often he'd say, yeah, let Vacchiano hear you play that. And every single mouthpiece, every single trumpet, every single this, that, and the other thing, every single tongue position, every single lip position, I was number one. Now this was before social media and texting and email and all that sort of stuff. So, okay, try this. How does that feel? Okay, what are you playing tonight? Well, I got this. Let me know how it goes. Who else is going to be on the job? Okay, don't say anything. Just play and let them know. And then I would, since I couldn't text or email, I'd have to call him the next day, and he'd be waiting for me. You know, how'd they like the mouthpiece? How'd the tongue position go? Well, you know, the first set I killed it. I was on my knees by the end of the night, that type of stuff. And the crazy thing is, guys, you can imagine changing every single thing as much as I was. And by this time, I was playing professionally. Man, I laid down some stinkers, some really bad jobs. And it got to a point, guys, that I was so maniacal about getting this done. It didn't bother me. Now, I laid down some brilliant ones too, and it was certainly enough to keep my head above water. And I can honestly say I never really crashed on an important one. There's usually some after-hours club out in the Bronx doing, you know, merengue music or something. But yeah. But he wanted to know. And the thing about it is, guys, I didn't consider it a failure. Oh, I stink, I'm not cut out. No, it was just more information. Okay, that works, we'll keep that, but that doesn't work. We got to eliminate that. Okay, and that mouthpiece is not going to work in the orchestra. Blah, blah, blah. And it was just information. And Jerry and I going forth were just joined at the hip. Anybody that knows me, ask my poor wife, knows that I can talk about this stuff for hours. And usually, all my students out there, my lessons run over every single time. I never close the book in my life, close the book right at the half hour. I could talk about this forever. And so many of the guys are going, look, I really got to go, Ref. No, one more thing. Let me hear I mean, I'm transfixed by this stuff. I still am. And it got better and better and better. There were very, very few steps back. Very few. Usually the crappy jobs that I did were usually just getting tired, you know. But usually in endurance, that's the last thing. And if you're trying something new, obviously the endurance isn't necessarily going to be there. But we were just joined at the hip. And Jerry and I would talk forever. Forever. And over the years, it leaked into different stuff. He set me up to this day. He set me up financially. He was a financial whiz. Give me a lot of advice on this, that, and the other thing. Business, he was a business maven. He just knew how to run a business. His mind worked in such a way. We used to do a lot of clinics, workshops, ITG, New York Brass Conference, Westchester. I mean, just traveling around. And after a while, he would let me do the playing. And he would be off teaching somebody, you know, at one of these clinics or something. He'd be off teaching somebody, you know, in a closet or something like that. And I loved every minute of it because all we did was talk about trumpet. And anybody that's a trumpet jock like me, there's just not that many of us around. So when you find somebody that really likes talking about this, you become fast friends. And everybody's talking, well, he's your protege. Well, I guess it could be construed as that. And everybody says, you know, he's like a father to you. Well, he was a mentor to me. But I'm telling you guys, it wasn't father-son. It just wasn't. We cared for each other a lot, all right? And nobody, I don't care who it was. I don't care if Vacchiano, I don't care. Nobody is dissing him in front of me. I stuck him, please, because I felt that strongly about him. It wasn't father-son, even though we were close. He came to my daughter's confirmation and first communion and all that sort of stuff. But it was trumpet. It was just trumpet. And there's a handful of guys that I have that relationship. Nick, Perico, I mean, lots of guys. Just Trumpet. We love talking about Trumpet, and that was Jerry. And I'll tell you, towards the end of his life, guys, I told you before, he got it down. He got it down. I think if he was still with us, he'd be tweaking the chops every little bit. But every single time we did, at the beginning, back at the day, wholesale changes. Wholesale changes, just monumental changes. Over the years, it got less and less and less. And just tiny little, I use the word, the tweak, that type of thing. It just got tinier and tinier until there was nothing left to do. And the cherry on the top was the 1SB. It seemed like once that came through and he knew he had it. He knew he had it. That was it. It was like his life work was done. There was nothing left for him to do. It was really odd in that regard. And I hope that didn't enter his mind. Okay, I got the mouthpiece. I can die now. But it wasn't soon after the 1SB. It just really started to decline. And I got him on kettlebell, fixed up his chronically bad back. He was always indebted to me for that. I could never get him on a decent diet. And I truly believe with the kettlebell and the diet, he would still be with us. And still honking double, triple C's, whatever. Playing Pagliacci up an octave. God bless him. Jerry, I think about you daily. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. And I said, back, what was it, Wednesday? Vacchiano, Broyles, John Ware, and Jerry. Not necessarily in that order, but they all had a profound effect on me and in my career, and I wouldn't change 1 second of it. Not 1 second. Anyway, eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Not the fake stuff, true power. Love you all.